Gemara describes a process known as lasisa, or in modern day we call that tempering, in which wheat would be soaked or moistened with water as a way of helping to get off the outer layers of the kernels, so that when we then ground it into flour, we get a finer flour. In the Beis Hamikdash, all wheat had to go through this process called lasisa, and that process was done in a special way that did not cause it to become chametz, even though the wheat kernels were in contact with water. However, the Shulchan Aruch records that nowadays we're not confident in being able to do lasisa, and therefore we do not allow grains that have been soaked in water to be used on Pesach. In the modern day, that process called tempering is done to all flour, all wheat flour, regular and whole wheat, are tempered before they are ground into flour. And based on the way the process is done, the Mishnah Berurah talks about whether that is considered to be for sure chametz, or safek chametz, which is to say is only the water is put on in a very controlled manner, and it's not clear whether it does or doesn't become chametz. In fact, a few decades ago, a number of rabbis took grains that had gone through that process of tempering and brought it to Moshe Feinstein, who looked at it and said, we should treat that flour as if it is safek chametz. That is to say, a Jew should not own that chametz on Pesach. He could sell it with the rest of his chametz to a non-Jew and use it after Pesach. This process of tempering is not done for rye flour or spelt flour, and therefore, if a person owns rye or spelt flour, they're perfectly fine to keep those over Pesach. They do not need to be sold